Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to RCC Kids Live. And this is where you can come and watch the Bible story in case you missed it one Sunday morning. Maybe you weren't feeling too well or you just slept in like I do sometimes. But this Sunday morning, we have started a whole new month, which means we have a new word. And our word for this month is kindness. And we are learning that kindness means showing others that they have value by the way we treat them. I think that's what it said. So, and then today's bottom line is that Jesus showed us how to be kind. So, pay close attention to our Bible story and see if you can figure out some different ways that we can show kindness to others.
Hey everyone, I'm Brian. And hey, I've got a question for you. Have you ever wondered what God looks like? I mean, God is so incredibly awesome and amazing and glorious that people can't look directly at God. I mean, when Moses spent time with God on Mount Sinai, Moses' face shone so brightly afterward that he had to cover it. But God wants to be known. God wants to be in a close relationship with us, like a good friend. And that's the reason God sent Jesus. The Apostle Paul wrote that Jesus is the exact likeness of God. Jesus is God's Son. So when we look at the things Jesus said and did, we can know that this is what God is like. Jesus showed us what it means to love others like God does. And one of the most important ways that we can show love is through kindness. Now, it's easy to think of kindness as just, being nice, and that's part of it. But Jesus showed us that true kindness goes much deeper. Let's take a look at 3 different times Jesus showed kindness. One day, after Jesus finished teaching, a man with a skin disease threw himself on the ground at Jesus' feet. At that time, if you had a skin disease, there was no easy cure, so you had to stay away from everyone, even your own family. No one wanted to come anywhere near you, much less actually touch you. The crowd around Jesus would have been horrified.
Ew, get away.
But the sick man was so desperate, he didn't care about the rules.
Lord, if you're willing to make me well, you can do it.
Instead of backing away, Jesus did the unthinkable. He reached out his hand and touched the man.
I am willing to do it. Be clean.
At once, the man was made well. His skin became completely clean and healthy. Through the kindness of Jesus, the man could now return to his family and friends. In fact, Jesus often spent time with those who were overlooked or considered unimportant, like children. Let's take a look at another time that Jesus showed kindness. Now, at this time, people didn't think kids had much value. So when some families brought their kids to see Jesus, his followers stepped in to stop it.
You can't bother Jesus with a bunch of snotty-nosed kids.
Yeah, Jesus is way too busy with important stuff.
Jesus didn't see it that way at all. He stepped in to flip the situation upside down.
Let the little children come to me. Don't keep them away. The kingdom of heaven belongs to people like them.
Jesus didn't care what other people thought. He welcomed those kids, laying his hands on them and blessing them. He showed everyone around him how valuable children truly are. Finally, let's look at a third time that Jesus spent time with some unexpected people. Now, remember how Jesus invited Matthew, who was a tax collector, to follow him? Tax collectors were considered to be traitors to the Jewish people. But when Matthew invited Jesus to dinner, Jesus didn't hesitate to come. He spent time hanging out at a meal with tax collectors and other people who were looked down on for their wrong choices. Of course, the religious leaders were shocked. They demanded of Jesus' followers,
"Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?"
Jesus heard what they were saying.
Those who are healthy don't need a doctor. Sick people do. I've not come to get those who think they are right with God to follow me. I've come to get sinners to follow me.
Jesus didn't just spend his time hanging out with people who were important or had it all together. He gave his attention and help to those who were outcast and overlooked. And we can show the kindness of God when we do the same. The end.
I
I love that since Jesus is God's son, he gives us this perfect picture of what God is like.
Yeah, he's not just a king, but a friend.
You know, I bet when Jesus was growing up, he always looked for the kid who needed a friend.
Jesus showed incredible kindness to us all by giving up his life so we can be restored to relationship with God.
The ultimate act of kindness.
So, what's our part in the story?
Well, it's easy to be kind to somebody when you might get something out of it, like an invite to a popular kid's birthday party or maybe help with your homework. But Jesus was kind to everyone, especially the people who seem to have the least to offer. So just like Jesus, we can keep our eyes open for people who are often overlooked.
Yeah, like that quiet kid in your class who usually sits alone.
Or the kid who was always picked last for PE.
You can say hi and offer words of encouragement. Let them know that you see them.
And when you're making a list of kids to invite to your birthday party, think about including someone who may not get many invitations.
Or if the checkout lady at the grocery store looks sad or worried, give her a smile.
Or if you live in a place where there are people without homes, ask your parents to keep warm socks and snacks in the car to give away.
It's all good ideas. Everywhere you look, you'll find somebody who needs your kindness to remind them they're valuable.
Someone who needs you to show God's love.
Ask God to help you look for opportunities.
And then be ready to go for it.
You got that right. See you next time.
So, here's the thing. Jesus showed us how to be kind
By treating everyone with love and respect.
and shining God's light everywhere we go, just like a warm, bright campfire.
Or my lantern.
About that.
Oh, hold on.
Well, look at that.
What can I say? I have such bright ideas.
Thanks for joining us in the Story Lab.
See you next time.
So it's like your own makeshift lantern.
I know, I can like see everything. I don't know how to turn the lights back on.
Snap.
Oh, worked.
Hey guys, we're back. So I hope you paid close attention. Jesus gave us some pretty cool examples of how we can show kindness to others. The first example was pretty cool. He had a guy come up to him, and the guy had a skin disease. I think it's called leprosy, where if you touched him, then you would catch it also. So nobody wanted to be around those people. But the first thing Jesus did was he touched the guy, and then he healed him. So that was pretty amazing. So, you know what? We can show kindness to others the same way Jesus did. So if we see someone by themselves at recess or at lunch, we can go and invite them to join us. Or we can show kindness by showing respect to our teachers and our parents when they ask us to do something. That's how we can show kindness. So guys, I hope you enjoyed our Bible story today. And real quick, before we finish up, one quick announcement. Next Sunday on February 11th at 11 a.m. is our Discover Jesus class. That's where we learn even more about Jesus, and we learn about baptism, and we learn how to follow him every day. So if you want to learn all that stuff, join us next week at 11 a.m. And if you have any questions, just call that number on the slide or send us an email. So, all right, you guys, hope you had a great time watching today, and hope you have a great Sunday. See you next week.